So the other day, I got into a disagreement with someone that I care very deeply about. Through that experience, I realized something really important about all the relationship advice on YouTube. A lot of it misses the mark in a really important way. All this work on anxious attachment or dealing with narcissist or codependency, there's a ton of content out there on all that stuff. All of that stuff is irrelevant until you get one crucial thing in order in your day to day life. High emotion in your relationships is not a brain to brain or mind to mind interaction. Your nervous system is interacting with your partner's nervous system. So emotional regulation rests in nervous system regulation. And so if you want to be able to calm yourself more quickly and get less upset less quickly, the key to that is not I feel statements. The key to that is not attachment theory, and it's not understanding 5 characteristics of gaslighting. That stuff's important, but that does you no good until you can improve your own nervous system regulation and hopefully your partner as well. Relationships, especially relationships in conflict, are emotional in nature. They're visceral. They live in our bodies. Remember, emotions are 10 times faster than thoughts. And so if you have this idea that you can think your way out of an emotional problem, you've lost that race before it began. And I learned that in spades the other night. I'll tell you a little about it. But the thing about all these ideas, though, is that they distract us. They get us back up into headspace. Now, I am a master intellectualizer. That's one of my defense mechanisms of choice. I love this idea that if I can just think hard enough about something, I can solve all my problems. Kind of becomes like trying to hit a home run with a wiffle ball. You can do a whole lot of work and never hit that home run. So the disagreement happened, and again, I'm not going to get into all the details, but essentially something was said to me, and it just landed wrong with me. It was nothing bad. It just landed the wrong way, and in that moment, my nervous system took over. I went into fight or flight. Guys, I'm a relationship therapist. I've been studying this and doing this work for a long time. If there's anyone who ought to be able to deploy a good I feel statement in the moment, it ought to be me, right? Um, no luck. I fell into the same trap. I got dysregulated, and it rendered me completely incapable of accessing all of the things that I needed to access to shut things down quickly or to avoid the argument altogether. Now, as you know, I am a therapist and I have some ideas on how we do that. I've actually worked with people for a long time on nervous system regulation. Think about mind, body, spirit, that continuum. They're all interconnected. And think of those as being kind of encapsulated by relationships. So, mind, body, spirit, relationships, those all work together to form our relationship with the world. The way we improve our emotional regulation is we are intentional about activities that grab as many of those domains as possible in one rich activity. Let me give you an example. Exercise. You wouldn't know it to look at me, but I really enjoy going to the gym. My favorite thing to do at the gym is to lift weights, which, look, go figure, right? But here's what I love about lifting weights is it is a very rich, complex activity for me. I like to use dumbbells instead of the machines, keeping those dumbbells exactly level, keeping them exactly on the angle that I want. And so for me, my mind is engaged in that as much as my body is. And for me, it's social enough. You know, in my day job, I talk to people a lot. And so I don't need a lot of heavy duty social interaction in those times. But being around other people is good for you. So if I'm at the gym, I'm lifting, I have my headphones in, I'm around other people, but I don't have to talk a lot to them. And for me, that's a nice mix. Other people, they really want to talk a lot. They really want to engage on that level. That's great. You've got to find what works for you. My wife loves her book club, right? And so for her, that's a social thing. It's an intellectual thing. It grabs those and brings them into one rich activity. Some people like yoga class. For a lot of folks, some kind of spiritual practice, whether that's a very personal thing, whether that's going to church or some kind of organization. There's actually a lot of research out about spiritual practice and mental health. So if that is your jam, then you might consider that as a strategy as much as anything else. My favorite way to work on regulation is mindfulness work. For me, that's meditation, but there's a lot of ways to do that. But there's a lot of research out there on the fact that mindfulness work can improve nervous system regulation. It's very powerful. There's a lot of misconceptions about mindfulness. Some people think it has to be a religious practice. It doesn't. Some people think you have to dress a certain way or talk a certain way or, wear a man bun or whatever. None of that stuff is true. Mindfulness can be available and accessible to anyone from any walk of life, no matter what your belief system, no matter how you carry yourself. And so I want to encourage you to look into mindfulness as a strategy for helping manage your emotions through managing your nervous system regulation. I'm going to try to help you out with that. I'm actually developing a new show. It's actually going to be wrapped into the channel here. So I'm not taking anything away from this channel, but Monday through Friday, I'm going to add the Coffee Cup Mindfulness podcast. It'll drop every Monday through Friday morning early, so you can listen while you're brushing your teeth or making your breakfast or even on your morning drive, because it's also going to be released on your favorite podcast platform. So whether you prefer to listen to that on your podcast platform or right here on my YouTube channel, you can go either way. And this is super simple, friends. It's 3 to 5 minutes. This is going to be just a sip every morning of mindfulness, encouragement, positivity, just to help get your day kicked off in a positive way. And so I want to encourage you to check out this short and super simple approach to this. If you do want to go deeper, we're going to have a chance to do that too. I'm going to do that over my Patreon community though. So I've got that link down in the description. And so if you want to get involved in my Patreon community, then I'll encourage you to do that. Thanks for being here. See you next time. Be well.